Hello and welcome to the Okwe John Show, where we simplify faith and finance. So it's Christmas season, and Christmas is just one of the most exciting times of the year. Definitely my favorite time of the year. But it's also the most expensive time of the year for many of us. Over the years though, I've learned the best ways to deal with Christmas spending. And I wanted to share some of my experiences, what worked and what didn't, and also my top tips for dealing with Christmas spend. Now, before, there was a point where I just used to go out and spend, and not look at my bank balance, just kept swiping my card. And I'll wait till the dust settles, then I'll look at my bank statement. Ouch. I deal with fallout after. I can assure you, definitely not one way I would recommend at all, because you would definitely overly spend. The second approach I did was I budgeted to the T and planned Christmas. Whilst I stayed within reason and I didn't overspend, yay, happy days. But one thing I found was, there's that joy that comes with being able to do things spontaneously. And I found I just didn't have that because everything was so planned to the T, and I felt a bit restricted. So over time, I've learned some better ways of dealing with Christmas spending. So the first thing I do now is I start putting money aside towards Christmas from much earlier on in the year. I gave myself a break in January and February, and I start around March, April times. It's easier to put £100 aside over 7 months and have £700 than take £700 from one paycheck. Ouch, that hurts more. So it's easier to do this in bits. It just really helps you. The second thing I've done over time is, and I tend to do now, is around October, November, I start to make a list of every single person I'm giving Christmas gifts to. And I put a rough budget of how much it will cost me. This just helps me know how much I'm spending on gifts. The third thing I do is try to estimate how much I'm going to spend on food, because boy, we spend so much money on food during Christmas time. The other thing as well is events. We go out to lots of events, we meet up with friends, we have lots of drinks that we go to, but it's very important to put numbers to them because those events aren't free at all. It's nice to know how much you're working with. The fourth thing I do is have a miscellaneous pot. There's something beautiful about having a miscellaneous pot, because for me, it just makes me feel less restricted. And it just means if I want to go to an event that isn't planned, lastminute.com sort of thing, I can get up and go without feeling guilty. Or if I see a jacket, for example, that I like in a shop at a good price, I don't have to feel guilty for buying it because that's coming out to my Christmas miscellaneous. The fifth thing I do is to deal hunt. I'm constantly looking for best deals, promotions, and discounts around this time, just to make sure that I'm buying smartly. There was something about when I used to go out just on the 23rd or 24th and buy all my gifts in one day. I found the pressure was on, and I focused more on buying everything right there and then. And I didn't necessarily look at the price so much because I didn't want to disappoint anyone. But now the advantage of doing it in advance is you're able to look at different options and also look at the best deals as well during this time of the year. The sixth thing as well I've learned over Christmas time is to buy gifts that people like, not what I like. There's a difference between the two. It's easy for us to want to buy what we like, but remember, you're not the recipient of the gift, and you're not the one that's going to be using the gift. So for that reason, it's important to buy something that the person receiving the gift would like. If you're not sure, ask them for what they would like, what they want, or what they need, and buy one of those so it ends up going to good use. As I said at the start of this video, Christmas is a really expensive time of the year, but also one of the most exciting times of the year. It's very important that we enjoy it and we don't put ourselves under any financial pressure or burden. So please spend wisely, but ultimately remember to have fun. Merry Christmas in advance, and I wish you all a happy new year. If you haven't subscribe to this YouTube channel, please subscribe so you're one of the first people to know when the next video drops.